Namaskar, a warm welcome to World News, an Indian perspective on All India Radio. This is Manoj Singh Rana bringing glimpses of major developments of the day from across the globe. The headlines: India lodges strong protest over unprovoked ceasefire violations by Pakistan. President Donald Trump says election was rigged. Clashes erupt in Washington DC over voter fraud allegations. United Arab Emirates to extend its golden visa system to certain professionals, specialized degree holders and others. Tributes pour in as doyen of Indian cinema Soumitra Chatterjee passes away at the age of 85. And Lewis Hamilton wins 7th Formula One title at the Turkish Grand Prix. India today lodged a strong protest over unprovoked ceasefire violations along the line of control by Pakistan on Friday. The Ministry of External Affairs summoned the Chargé d'Affaires of the High Commission of Pakistan over unprovoked ceasefire violations by Pakistani forces on multiple sectors along the LOC in Jammu and Kashmir on the 13th of this month, resulting in the deaths of 4 innocent civilians and serious injuries to 19 others. The MEA said India condemns in the strongest terms the deliberate targeting of innocent civilians by Pakistani forces. It is highly deplorable that Pakistan chose a festive occasion in India to disrupt peace and perpetrate violence in Jammu and Kashmir through coordinated firing along the length of the LOC, using heavy caliber weapons including artillery and mortar on Indian civilians. New Delhi also said India strongly protested India's continued support to cross-border terrorist infiltration into India, including through supporting cover fire provided by the Pakistan forces. The ministry said Pakistan was once again reminded of its bilateral commitment to not allow any territory under its control to be used for terrorism against India in any manner. President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, on Sunday rubbished the results of the latest presidential election in a continuation of his denial of the legitimacy of Democrat Joe Biden's victory. In a tweet, Mr. Trump said he won because the election was rigged. He called the mail-in elections a sick joke. The development comes amidst clashes which broke out in Washington DC on Saturday between supporters of outgoing US President Donald Trump and counter-protesters. The US election officials had earlier this week dismissed allegations of voter fraud and called the November 3rd elections the most secure in the American history. Ministers from 15 countries signed the Regional Free Trade Agreement RCEP on Sunday. In a tweet, the ASEAN grouping said the agreement offers mutually beneficial partnership through a series of commitments. These include market access, rules and economic technical cooperation. India has on several occasions indicated it had several issues which prevented it from joining RCEP. India has since indicated it is not in a position to sign the agreement. However, it reaffirmed its commitment to deepening trade with the ASEAN.
On RCEP, our position is well known. As far as India is concerned, we did not join RCEP as it does not address the outstanding issues and concerns of India. However, we remain committed to deepening our trade relations with ASEAN.
The RCEP Trade Negotiating Committee had issued a joint statement on the 30th of April 2020 in the throes of the COVID-19 pandemic. In a statement, the 15 RCEP participating countries, RPCs, agreed to step up cooperation and accelerate global efforts to enable a swift and resilient economic recovery from the crisis brought about by COVID-19. The 15 RPCs reaffirmed their commitment to continue working with India to address its outstanding issues, as instructed by RCEP leaders at the 3rd RCEP summit in November 2019. The statement further read, recognizing India as a valuable original participant, the 15 RPCs would welcome India's return to the RCEP negotiations. India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. Jaishankar, greeted the Foreign Minister of Palestine, Dr. Riyad al-Maliki, the government and the people of the State of Palestine on their declaration of the Independence Day. Dr. Jaishankar affirmed that India remains supportive to the aspirations of Palestinians in their pursuit of statehood, peace and prosperity. The United Arab Emirates Vice President on Sunday said that it will extend its golden visa system to certain professionals, specialized degree holders and others. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed tweeted that the UAE has approved granting the 10-year golden visa to all PhD holders in the UAE. Also eligible are those with specialized degrees in artificial intelligence, big data and epidemiology and top graduates from UAE. This is All India Radio giving you the world news. Diwali celebrations at the Indian Embassy in Beijing this year saw a huge participation from diplomatic corps in Beijing. Ambassador Vikram Misri hosted over 100 members from the diplomatic community, heads of multilateral institutions and foreign media to celebrate the festival of lights Diwali. Mr. Misri highlighted the global outreach of Diwali, including Ramayana, the main epic related to Diwali, which has multiple variants in India's ASEAN neighborhood also. The attendees were left spellbound by the classical and folk dance performance by the artists. US President-elect Joe Biden, his deputy Kamala Harris and the incumbent President Donald Trump have extended Deepavali greetings to those celebrating the Festival of Lights. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has also extended his greetings on the occasion of Diwali and called it a testament to the resilience of the great cultures. The Indian government has granted voting rights to refugees from West Pakistan. About 5,764 Hindu and Sikh families, popularly known as West Pakistan refugees or WPRs, entered India in 1947 and settled down in various parts of Jammu. The refugees were disenfranchised since 1947 but can now vote and contest elections. The move comes in the wake of abrogation of Article 370 and new domicile laws that sought to increase the ambit of voting right in contesting elections in the Union Territory. Now numbering over 20,000, the WPRs are now allowed to purchase land and apply for jobs in J&K. Besides, they can also contest elections after the abrogation of Article 370. The move also benefits the marginalized Valmiki community. The UN Refugee Agency on Sunday said that the number of people who have fled into Sudan from the conflict in northern Ethiopia has risen to at least 20,000. The conflict in the Tigray region has been widening and threatens to engulf the northern countries of Sudan and Eritrea. Meanwhile, the Ethiopian government has said it is a constitutional mandate to uphold the rule of the law. In response to the attacks by the Tigray People's Liberation Front or TPLF. Now, let's take a look at the coronavirus updates from around the world. According to WHO data, global coronavirus infections crossed 53.5 million. Veteran Indian actor and Dada Saheb Phalke awardee Soumitra Chatterjee passed away in Kolkata today. The 85-year-old had tested positive for COVID-19 but had subsequently tested negative and succumbed to other ailments, hospital sources say. Condolences poured in from various corners, including from the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Ramnath Kovind. Soumitra started his career at All India Radio as an announcer and won accolades for his work globally. All India Radio celebrates the life of Soumitra Chatterjee with a vignette as Feluda, the fictional super sleuth created by Satyajit Ray and immortalized by Mr. Chatterjee.
ঠিকই বলেছিস সুখওয়ানিকে দস্তুরের ঘরে যেতে গেলে একেবারে বাগান ঘুরে সামনে এসে সদর দরজা দিয়ে ঢুকতে হয়
কিন্তু মেইন গেট তো মাঝরাত্রিরে বন্ধ থাকে
XYZ X হচ্ছে গবেষণার কাগজ Y হচ্ছে টাকা আর Z হচ্ছে খুন এখন কথা হচ্ছে এই তিনটে কি একই সূত্রে গাঁথা না
Moving on to sports, in Formula 1, Britain's Lewis Hamilton won the Turkish Grand Prix on Sunday to clinch a record equaling 7th World Championship. India is celebrating the 151st birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Before we end, let us listen to his favourite bhajan, Vaishnav Janbay, artist from Myanmar. And with that, we end this bulletin. See you at same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.